Most people think that high-paying jobs are glamorous like doctors, lawyers, engineers, and tech founders. But there's a whole categories of jobs that pays over 6 figures because they're disturbing. Jobs so mentally intense, so physically confronting that people only lasts for few months. Today we're going to talk about high-paying jobs that society desperately needs, but almost nobody don't want to take it. Okay, these jobs exists for one reason: we need them. They protect public, support law enforcement, advance medicine, and keep cities running. And here's the truth: they pay well not because it's hard to learn, but because it's hard to survive. Digital child exploitation content analysts review, classify, and report illegal online materials. They work with law enforcement agencies, intelligence units, and tech companies. Their job is to identify, categorize, and document content so that the predators or the pedophiles, the perpetrators, can be tracked, prosecuted, and castrated. Stop. That's the word that I'm looking for, right? Now, you could probably imagine why this is a disturbing job. But just in case you lack imagination, this job involves constant exposure to the darkest part of the internet. And to protect their mental health, analysts normally work on short shifts, and they have strict protocols, and they always do mandatory psychological counseling. Even with all this support, burnout is common because, as you may have known, if you're a sane individual, scouring through this filth every single day of your working life is awful. No one can actually last, except for psychopaths or the predators themselves. In fact, many professionals leave within 1 to 2 years. The only reason why they actually stay is not because of the money. It's because of the higher calling or service to save all the children out there and to lock up all these predators. Now, the reason why it pays so well is not just because they're heroes, but because of these 4 main things. One is they endure severe psychological impact. Number 2, they have high legal responsibility. Number 3, extreme turnover is always happening. Number 4, and I know that every single sane person out there would agree with this, they're absolutely necessary. Without these workers, investigations stall, meaning the predators won't get caught right away and the victims don't get justice. This is one of the few jobs where mental resilience are more important than technical skills. And if you're going to ask me, I'd rather have these people receive millions of dollars in bonuses instead of CEOs of large companies. But they only get paid $100,000 to over $160,000 a year. Have you ever wondered who cleans up the mess after a murder occurred in a house? Well, these professionals clean biohazard scenes after suicide, violent deaths, industrial accidents, and even decompositions. They remove blood, tissues, hazardous materials, and bodily fluids. They're restoring spaces so that families can return without any trauma. Well, it's disturbing because the job isn't just physically confronting, but it's emotionally heavy. Picture this: you're walking into the final moments of someone's life, and you see what families should never see. And the smells, the visuals, the silence, it will stay with you forever. It pays well because it handles extreme conditions. You always get urgent call-outs because death normally happens after business hours. You need to have emotional resilience, and obviously, very few people would be willing to do it for long term. It's not just cleaning because, as we all know, anyone and everyone can clean a house, but not everyone can do this job. In fact, as an asset manager, I normally manage apartment buildings as well as lifestyle estates. And I had to hire one of their services back then, and it costs us $10,000 to get one bedroom cleaned. And they normally charge $6,000 to $25,000, which is why the specialists get paid $120,000 to $200,000 plus a year. Quick break, everyone. Click that like and subscribe button so that we can continue creating videos like this. Let's get back to business. These professionals manage the logistics and compliance for donated human bodies used in medical research, surgical training, and anatomical education. They coordinate between hospitals, families, transport providers, and research institutions. Well, it's very disturbing, mainly because you are in constant interaction with deceased donors. And you often deal with grieving families. I mean, imagine taking away the body of the son of a grieving mother or the daughter of a broken man. You're basically balancing empathy and legal protocols. One mistake can violate ethical standards or the law. Well, it pays very well because the compensation reflects the high legal risk, the ethical pressure, the emotional labor, and regulatory complexities. This job requires emotional maturity, professionalism, and precision every single day. And they get paid $90,000 to over $150,000 a year for doing their jobs. These specialists remove dangerous animals from sewers, factories, ports, mines, and industrial facilities. They deal with venomous snakes, aggressive wildlife, and unpredictable conditions. And guess what? They often do it on confined spaces. Now, the reason why they're disturbing is, imagine this. You're working in darkness and tight spaces. Then you suddenly hear, yes, that's my mimic of what a snake would sound like. As you would know, all environments are pretty high risk. One mistake can mean injury or your life. And unlike wildlife documentaries, there's no safety net or camera crew. So basically, no, this is not the job of Steve Irwin. Crikey, mate. Now, obviously it pays so well because the job is very dangerous. You get emergency callouts anytime. You need specialized training in handling these animals. Fourth is the high liability. You're paid for what might happen, not just doing your job, which is exactly $100,000 a year to over $180,000 a year. These divers perform underwater maintenance inside sewage treatment plants. They inspect, repair, and maintain infrastructure. And guess what? It's often on zero visibility environment. Now, the reason why this is disturbing is because it's one of the most extreme working conditions on Earth. There's no visibility, you get toxic exposure, especially if people keep on eating curry or chilies. You get biological hazards and tight underwater spaces. Divers rely entirely on instrument and training, not their sight. Now, this job is the highest paying job on the list because it combines commercial diving expertise, life-threatening conditions, and you have severe health risks. It's not only just that very few people are qualified, but it's also that very few people are willing to do these jobs, which is why they get paid $150,000 a year to over $300,000 a year. Now, let's do a recap on why these jobs pay so much. Well, it's mainly because these roles share these three same reasons. Number one, they have high psychological or physical cost. Number two, they're very important for the society. Number three, nobody wants to work these jobs, so they always have extreme worker shortages. The pay isn't a bonus, it's compensation. And rightly so. These jobs reminds us of something important. High income doesn't always come from comfort or fancy suits. Sometimes it's doing what others can't or what others won't. If you're someone who values resilience, purpose, and impact over prestige, there are paths for financial success that most people never talk about and maybe never want to, especially during dinner conversations. Now, if you think that these jobs are not for you, then why not try and have a look at these other high-paying trade jobs that I've created back then